welcome. Let me bring you MASENO Biology Paper 2. Biology Paper 2. Remember to share, subscribe, and like. Thank you. Question one. It is from certain, that is genetics. This is the genetics. The crossing. Use letter R to represent the gene for the red seed coat, W to represent the gene for white seed coat. Work out the genotype of F2 generation. F2 generation. Name N2 traits in human beings that show codominance. Codominance. Blood group AB, 6L trait, 6L trait, reject 6L anemia. State N1 application of genetic engineering in the field of medicine. Production of insulin, production of human somatotropin hormone, production of vaccine for hepatitis, production of oral administered vaccines, gene therapy. Yes. Question 2. The diagram will present a specialized animal cell. Examine it. Identify the enzyme represented in the above cell. The enzyme represented in the above cell. Carbonic anhydrase. Describe the role of the enzyme named above. Catalyzes the reaction between water and carbon dioxide to form weak carbonic acid and dissociation of weak carbonic acid into bicarbonate ions and hydrogen ions. Explain why the transportation of carbon dioxide in above cell is advantageous. Carbon dioxide is eliminated faster due to enzyme carbonic anhydrase. More carbon dioxide is eliminated per unit time since some combine with hemoglobin to form carbon hemoglobin, which maintains the pH of the blood due to formation of bicarbonate ions. Describe the role of calcium ions in the blood clotting. Calcium ions in blood clotting activates thromboplastin, thrombokinase, which in turn neutralizes heparin and activates prothrombin to thrombin. Represent animals belonging to a certain phylum and phylum Arthropoda. Examine them. Identify the class to which each of the above animals belong to. K. Diproboda, L. Chiroboda. Give two features used to place the animal above into their classes. cylindrical body, 2 pairs of legs, a pair of short antennae. L, dorsopatellar body, a pair of legs per segment, a pair of long antennae, a pair of poisonous claws. Those are the features that made it to be classified. Identify the mode of nutrition for the above K and L. Mode of nutrition for K, herbivorous, detrivorous, or L, carnivorous. L, carnivorous. Explain the ecological role of animal L in the ecosystem. Animal L, 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 L. What is the ecological role? Feeds on small insects, thus maintaining their population at carrying capacity. The diagram represents a mammalian bone. Examine it. Identify the view of the bone shown above. Is it in anterior or which one? Which view is that? It is a lateral view. Lateral view. Give a reason for your answer in A above. Why? Presence of transverse process on either side. Transverse. Give reason for your answer we have given. With 2 reasons, identify the part of the body where the above bone was obtained, region and reason. Neck, presence of vertebraterial canal, presence of a wide neural canal. D, how does the part labeled M adapted above to its function? M, how is M adapted to its function? Presence of vertebral canal, large broad to provide large surface area for attachment of the neck muscles. That's how the M is adapted to its function. State the 2 ways in which human skeleton offer protection. Long bones form site for synthesis of granulocytes. White destroy the phytogen. Scar protects brain, eye, and ears from mechanical injury. Ribs protect the lungs from mechanical injury. Sternum protects the heart from mechanical injury. Number 6, the graph. This is the data of the graph that you are supposed to draw. With reason in case, okay, now you are asked to draw a graph, plot a graph of temperature of body temp against animals P and Q. Animals P and Q. With reason, in each case, classify animal P and Q based on thermoregulation. P, homoiotherm. The body temperature is constant despite changes in environmental. Poikilorodam, the body temperature fluctuates depending on the environmental temperature. State 2 advantages of animal P over Q. Can exploit a wide range of habitats, remains active throughout. Give one advantage of animal Q. One advantage of animal Q: cannot exploit a wide range, cannot that this was question. Give one disadvantage. Give one disadvantage of Q. Cannot exploit a wide range of habitats. Explain why the temperature of animal Q was constant throughout the study period. It is an endotherm. When the body temperature rises above optimum, the thermoceptors in the hypothalamus detect and relay impulses to the liver to reduce exothermic reactions, hence thermoregulation. When the body temperature falls below optimum, the thermocepts in the hypothalamus detect the relay impulse to the liver to increase exothermic reactions, hence thermoregulation. State 3 behavioral mechanism used by animal Q to regulate body temperature. Burrowing, clustering, basking, coiling, thermograbbing. Essay question. Explain how gear is adapted to its function. How is the gear adapted to its function? A gear comprises of a gear bar, gear rakers, and the gear filament. Gear bar is long and curved to provide large surface area for attachment of the gear filament and the gear rakers. It also has hard bony to support the gear rakers and the gear filament. Gear rakers are numerous and arranged in a row like manner facing the mouth to trap solid particles from water flowing from the mouth so as to prevent them from reaching the delicate gear filaments. Gear filaments are long and numerous to provide large surface area for gaseous exchange, highly vascularized for efficient transport of respiratory gases, have thin epithelial lining to produce distance for faster diffusion of respiratory gases, have permeable epithelial lining for diffusion of respiratory gases across them. Describe the role of osmosis in plants. The role of osmosis in plants. The role of osmosis in plants. Number one, support in hypercious plant. Herbaceous plants lack support in tissue. They have numerous parenchyma cells which absorb water by osmosis, become turgid, and offer mechanical support. Absorption of water. The cell sap of the root hair cell is hypertonic to the soil solution surrounding the root hair. This creates an osmotic pressure which draws water through molecules from the soil across the plasma membrane into the sap vacuole of the root hair cell by osmosis. The water drawn in dilutes the cell sap of the root. Hair cells and peripheral cells, making it hypotonic to that of adjacent cortical cells. The adjacent cortical cells therefore draw water from the peripheral cells by osmosis, making their cell sap to become hypotonic to the cell sap of adjacent cortical cells of the inner side. Water movement continues from successful cortical cells until water reaches the endodermis. Water is actively pumped across the endodermis through the pericycle to the xylem. Opening and closing of stomata. Opening opening and closing of stomata during daytime. In the presence of light, chloroplasts in the gut cells carry out photosynthesis, which yields glucose. Glucose, being osmotically active, raises osmotic pressure of gut cells, which absorb water from adjacent epidermal cells by osmosis, become turgid, bulge outwards, and open the stomata. At night, in the absence of light, the performed glucose is converted to starch. Starch, being osmotically inactive, lowers the osmotic pressure of gut cells, which lose water to the surrounding epidermal cells by osmosis, become plasmolized and cross the stomata. Feeding in insectivorous plants. The leaves of insectivorous plants have a nerve-sensitive cells called purifin. When insect lands on them, mid-trip cells rapidly lose water by osmosis and consequently lose their turgid, making the leaf to close with their spines interlocking, hence trapping the insect, with which they digest to obtain nutrients. Describe the role of hormones in production in males. The role of hormones in production in males. You can use a table as we have used here. Hormone, you write the hormone, the way it is secreted and the role. First, co-stimulating hormone. It is produced by the pituitary gland, stimulates synthesis and maturation of the sperm. Luteinizing hormone, pituitary gland, stimulates interstitial cells to secrete androgen such as testosterone. Testosterone in intestinal cells stimulates the development of male secondary sexual characteristics such as growth of the hair in the armpits and pubic regions. Describe the events that take place during prophase 1. Prophase 1. Prophase 1. Condensation of homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes shorten and thicken. Synapsis. Homologous chromosomes lie side by side to form pairs called bivalents. Chiasma formation. Non-sister chromatids come into contact at points called chiasma. Crossing over. There is an exchange of genetic material between non-sister chromatids at chiasmata. The nucleus disappears. The nuclear membrane begins to disintegrate. The spindle fibers begin to form from the centrioles. Very important. Thank you very much. Remember to share. Remember to like and comment. You know why? So that the YouTube algorithm can find our videos. When you comment and like, it shows that we are doing a good job, a good work. Thank you very much.